Hello, welcome to the Great Outdoors. We're here at the Seacrest Wolf Preserve in Chipley, Florida. You can see the activities that are going on behind me. We have a beautiful Indian princess here that's playing the flute. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We got tours going on, we got giveaways, all kinds of stuff, hay rides, all kinds of things. There's just so much to do. If you're in the area, stop by at the Seacrest Wolf Preserve and we'll look for you. So let's go check some of the things out and here at the Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
There are volunteers who are helping be on the watch and teach you and show you on the way you need to go. If you have any questions about the wolves, they know, the ones here, they know a great deal because they've been dancing with them for a few years now.
That's right.
Wayne and Cynthia Watkins are the owners. They're awesome people who give their love to these children. Cynthia helps, she's hand-fed the majority of them, and she is grandmama and Wayne grandpapa. And they know them very, very well, and you'll be hard for you to stay away because they need your help to teach others of their ways, that's who they really are. There's so many. If you want to do the hayride together up over here by Mr. Wayne, I think he's getting ready to crank up to go on a hayride. So if you want to go on a hayride right now, come on over, get your tickets, and meet Mr. Wayne over here, and he'll load you up. So if you're finished with your snack or whatever and you want to do the hayride, come on over and let Mr. Wayne know that you're ready to go. It only takes 3 tickets to do the cakewalk. And if you win, you've only paid $2 for a big $26 cake.
All right, y'all, hold on tight. Going on a hayride. Hayride. How many people actually ever been on a hayride before?
Never. I've never been.
Never? Okay, well, hey. It's really crowded here. It's really, really great to see all these people who are backing Seacrest Wolf Preserve. Now, this is something that's super cool. This is a rock, but it's actually not a rock. It's petrified wood that has petrified into a rock. And that is a very fine piece. And what is she going to be? A wolf? Where did you come up with that idea? You're not going to go hunt me or any other people, are you? Are you a friendly wolf or what?
Are you a friendly wolf?
Okay. Okay, then you're allowed. Wolves are very special. So that make you very special. You were probably pretty special before you got painted, huh? That Grandma? Yeah, how old is she?
3.5.
3.5. This is the first time you've brought her over here to the Seacrest? Really? Well, congratulations.
That way a little bit.
And what's her name?
Sean.
Sean?
Yep.
Oh, well, let me make sure she stays in focus here. Okay, Sean, well, as long as Grandma says it's okay,
Yep.
your transformation into being a wolf will be on worldwide transmissions. So you'll be famous.
That's
You'll be the
great.
most famous Sean the Wolf
See,
in
I
the
was
world.
born to be famous.
Yes, she was. She's very pretty.
Yeah.
Have you gone and met the wolves yet? You haven't seen the wolves yet? Oh, you need to go. Maybe you go when I go because I need a wolf to watch over me.
Okay, I'm going to give you dip for breakfast.
And what are you girls doing?
Okay, you can relax your mouth. I'm going to let you know what
Coloring pictures of wolves.
Ah. And with your accent, you're from,
England originally.
yeah, how long have you been here?
1956.
Uh-huh.
Here, you got to put your
I remember that year.
back just a
Yes.
little bit. Here, I'll put my hand there, Sue.
She's usually very, very chatty, but
Well, that's,
she thinks she can't move right now.
yeah, that's good. She's getting her mustache.
She's a wolf.
You're from Panama City Beach? Yes. Okay, are you your family in the service or?
My husband is ex-military, ex-army.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, we're here at Seacrest Wolf Preserve. This is Tina, this is the mother of the beautiful young lady that's getting her face painted. And is this the first time that you've been here at Seacrest Wolf Preserve?
This is the first time. We've lived in the area for 13 years, and this is the first time that we've come up.
Yeah, have you known about it before this?
I have known about it, and today we just thought that it would be a good thing to do. It's beautiful weather, so we decided to come out, and I can't believe we haven't been out here before.
I know, it's hard to believe. I'm just as guilty. I've lived here for 13 years myself.
Yeah.
I live in Alabama, but I've been here one time before. Have you guys gone and met the wolves yet?
Yes, we did that.
Okay, what'd you think?
You know, the habitats or the enclosures that they have is just, I mean, I think it's natural as possible, and that's what warms our heart, is that they're not in a cage with concrete and just the fence, and, you know, they have hills and running water, and they can dig their dens, and that's what we really love about it, is that it's as natural as possible for the wolves, and that's what's really important, is to make sure that they're as in a natural habitat as they possibly can.
Right, I agree with that. Okay, so what are your plans now?
Well, I think we're going to do our face painting and do the hayride, and maybe do a couple other events, and then
You're not going to stick around for the haunted hayride?
We can't. We have a birthday party.
Oh, yeah. You just don't want to get scared. Okay, Tina, well, enjoy your stay, and we look forward to seeing you back here again, here in
We'll be
the
back,
beautiful,
sure.
great outdoors of the Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
Thank
What's
you.
your wolf's name?
What do you call you?
Nobody wants to be anything else.
Are you Kiowa?
He kind of does.
Ooh, have a good Indian wolf name. We had the opportunity to meet with a family who had 2 wolves of their own. Well, you ask how they can have wolves. Well, they're actually wolves and shepherd or some other mix. And that is popular in some places. It doesn't require a permit to have a it actually depends on the percentage of wolf compared to the percentage of dog, but these 2 definitely look like wolves. They act like wolves. They howl. They do not bark, and you can see people really love these animals, and I like to think of them as wolves. You know,
it's just great to see this man and his son and his wife. They love these animals. They adore these animals. They got them as pups, and that's how a human who is an animal lover has to act with animals. And these are extra special animals. These wolves are loving, compassionate, they're protective. The problem is that if something should happen to him, it's not just everybody can have wolf dogs. A lot of times the state will come in and euthanize them, and that's not right either. But you'll find them advertised. There are some special needs and qualifications to have a wolf dog, and this guy just was a great owner. It's time to check out some of our volunteers. I do apologize that I do not have a list of the volunteers. Believe me, there were many. And they all did such a fantastic, fabulous job that you would think that they would work there every day. This young lady is from Miami, Florida.
So how's business?
Awesome.
Awesome business.
Go Wolves. We're here to support
Go Wolves,
the
right.
Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
On Saturday, it's the Seacrest Wolves against the humans from everywhere.
Against, we're all on the same team.
No, I know, but it's football Saturday.
All right.
Is it the first time you've been here?
We came last year and held the little pups.
Oh, I know, that's special. Did you see them out here in a while now? They've changed a lot.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we live here and we brought some people and oh my gosh, they're just loving it. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Yeah.
Great job.
Where are you from?
We live in Santa Rosa. They live in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, yeah, they're a little bit farther away. Yeah.
So it's great.
Good, good. Well, enjoy your lunch.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you out there on the video. Yeah, these are the people who feed you. You can't get through these ladies and eat until they say it's okay.
But okay, whatever.
Okay, right? They provide the tickets, right? Which
Thank
means,
you so
but
much.
if they don't have tickets, they can't eat.
That's true.
So you guys are the providers.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Go Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
Go Seacrest Wolf
Yes,
Preserve.
ma'am. What can I help you with?
Oh yeah, that's right. These two. But have you taken them to the fence where you could see maybe see the? Yeah. Well, those are two little dogs over there are really wolves, so you can right there.
He was over there with
Yeah, yeah. What's his name?
His name's Robert.
Robert. Did you go? You could go to see the little animals though. You could go see the little animals. They're really neat. They're fun. Yes. Hey, nobody's seen nothing. Get out of here. Say wolf meat. So what do you got? Is this the first time? Sure, get in there. Please do. All right. Now this is the who family?
The King family.
The King family.
We are the Kings.
Where are you from?
We are from Navarre.
Navarre? How far away is Navarre? I forget.
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Okay. What's your name? Did you hear that? I didn't hear it. What?
Richard.
Richard. You?
August.
Who?
August, like the month.
August.
Sarah.
Sarah and Jennifer, Mom. So you all just came over here for the day? How did you find out about the wolf?
I volunteered up here about 2 years ago.
Oh, did you? Cool.
Wolves are my favorite animals.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they are. So have you guys met the wolves?
Not yet.
No.
315.
315. Ooh, okay. So, oh, look. He's lying.
He's like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I love this. Let's get dressed up and be foolish. Okay, so, well, so you've never met the wolves. Only Mom has met the wolves?
I haven't actually met them.
When you volunteered, you didn't get to...
No, I was building fencing.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy it. None of you got picked to be the one that gets hamburger rubbed all over you and have to run. then maybe they haven't chose yet. All right, well, enjoy that anyway, and have a good time. Thank you. And what is your doggy's name?
This is Chewy.
Chewy! Chewy! Did you break out or did you finally get released?
He's trying to break out.
Oh, okay. So he's now entered in the dog costume.
He is.
Okay, uh-oh. The cops.
So is Emma.
You got cops behind you.
Uh-huh. She'll catch him too.
Yeah. Oop, that's it. Smack him around. Smack him
She's
around.
faster than he is.
Yeah, but he's got a bigger tail.
No, and he just plows into her and knocks her over.
Well, they look pretty cute. They look decent.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're so glad you're here this afternoon. Thank you so much for coming out to support this event. Can I have everybody's attention? Can I have everybody's attention, please? What we're doing here today is raising money for wildlife conservation and for wolves in particular, very, very misunderstood species. Seacrest Wolf Preserve is the largest wolf preserve in the southeastern part of the United States, and we are an educational facility. You guys know that education is a keystone to conservation. So what we're doing here today, education is a keystone to conservation. Now, the wolf is truly the most misunderstood species, and I don't know if you guys have been following the plight of the wolf to survive in the lower 48, but the federal government delisted the wolf. They lost all of their federal protection, and they're now being slaughtered back to the brink of extinction. It's very, very sad. We have wildlife biologists emailing us that have worked with wolves for 20 years in the wild with wolf restoration. Their hearts are broken because all of this is based on politics alone, and no science is involved in the delisting of these species. So it's very, very sad. Today, if you've been on a wolf tour, we hope that one of the Seacrest wolves touched your heart and that you have come to know this amazing species in a better way. Now, guys, we owe this species, the wolf, a lot. We owe them everything, because if you ever wrapped your mind around this fact, without the wolf, none of us would have man's best friend, our dogs. All dogs came from the wolf. We know genetically there have been changes. For instance, I have some breeds of dogs do not look like a wolf. For instance, I have a little grand dog that's one of those Chinese hairless cresteds. You guys know what that breed is? It's the breed that won the ugliest dog in the world contest for 2 years in a row. But she's precious. But my point is this. Some domesticated breeds do not look like a wolf. So genetically, there have been changes. But did you guys know that on the cellular level, there's only a 0.2 of 1% of difference in the mitochondrial DNA of these pure wolves you've been meeting today and all of that we have out here. So guys, today we're celebrating all canines, both wild and domesticated. And by the way, wolves, coyotes, and foxes are the 3 wild North American canid species. And if you've been on the wolf tour and done the small animal adventure, then you've met all 3 wild canid species, North American canid species. Now, we're going to meet some wonderful dogs that have come to join in this festivity and help celebrate the canine breeds, both wild and domesticated. And what we're going to do is have you guys line up, and I'm going to call Sharon Foster. Is it Foster or Sharon from Mariana? Where are you? We're going to be meeting our first contestant coming up right now. And Sharon, your dog's name is?
Chili.
What is it?
Chili.
Chili! This is Chili! Everybody give Chili a hand!
Hey, chili dog.
Chili is, Diane, will you tell us about his costume?
She is a black bean chili dog, and her breed is French Bull-Ween. She is a French Bulldog Dachshund cross. I'm not responsible for it. She was like that when we found her at Partners for Pets in Mariana, which is a fantastic place to get a pet, a dog or a cat. They treat their animals very nice. And she's fearless and feisty, like a dachshund.
Chili. Just like children, when you want them to do something, they never do it right. Guys, that's okay. Chili's
Pretty. Chili. Pretty. She doesn't understand why everybody's looking at her. Come on, Chili.
Kaiser from Tallahassee. All right. Okay, Emily, this is so unique. Tell us about your dog and the costume.
Okay, this is unique. And she's a Dutch Shepherd, and she is from we're from Tallahassee, and Junie. She does not like this costume currently.
Okay. Pop and Robber, I guess, we hear. That's great, guys. How precious. Okay, and they're Labradoodles, so take them around for us. Everybody give them a hand. Awesome.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Okay, Charlie. All right. Angel is here every year to participate in the costume contest, the HOWL-O-WEEN costume contest. April, tell us about Angel. We love her.
She's a nice lady. Angel is a Siberian Husky. He's also a rescue from the Humane Society. We've had him for, well, he's 9 years old, so we've had him for 7 years. He's been a wonderful pet. Actually, the shelter animals make the best pets. They're very loyal, and we just love him to death, and he is a wonderful, wonderful dog. He is dressed as the Lion King today. And he loves the wolves. In fact, when we get about a mile from here, he smells the wolves. He starts going crazy in the car, and he knows where we're going. So he looks forward to this trip every year, so we take him every year.
Awesome. Thank you, April. This is Angel the Lion King. Take her around. Again, Angel's been coming for 5, 6, 7 years. She comes up every year. She's precious. Angel the Lion shows Siberian Huskies. And I had many champions, and we always bring them around the ring, just walk them around for everybody to see. Isn't this a great group of canine guys? Give them all a hand.
Ooh.
I heard someone say this is her first pageant. This one wins first prize, this one wins second prize, and so forth. Because you know what? They're all equally special, beautiful. Their costumes are all so unique. So you know what we're going to do, guys? We've got some special treats here in the Halloween baskets for these guys. And I see some of the wolf dogs have already been sniffing the basket. So there's some really delicious treats in here. So you know what we're going to do? They're all winners, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all winners. So you know what? All the baskets are equal with the same treats in them. So if the owners want to come up and pick out your treats, just grab a basket or whatever. We're one lantern short, but the purple bag has the same thing in it that the others have. We want to thank Miss Marcia for contributing. She's a great dog person. Marcia contributes. Jeffers Vet Supply has contributed some of the things, and Seacrest Wolf Preserve has contributed some of the things. So, did everybody get a basket?
Who didn't get?
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Oh, go get him, Mom.
One of my favorite breeds. You want to tell us about, is it a him or a her? Tell us about him.
His name's Zed, and he's a Siberian Husky, and I got him from a lady in Panama City about 5 years ago.
Have you had him
Siberian Husky? He's about 5 years old. And I bet he's your baby, isn't he? All right, you have some another wonderful, look at this gentleman dog right here. Is this a male or a female? It's a female. Hello, beautiful. She have like yellow lab in her, or what does she have in her? Golden Retriever. Thank you guys, April. Thank all of you. What now?
Shepherd Husky.
Shepherd and Husky. And where did you get her?
From this one, actually.
Okay.
Rescued her.
Well, it was the rescue. And how old is she?
About 2 years.
Wonderful. Thank all of you guys for rescuing these animals and giving them a home. There are so many beautiful, beautiful canines that are put down every year. And, of course, other animals as well, cats and many others. But our dogs wind up so, you know, they become abandoned and they wind up in shelters and they become lost, so to speak, and are wind up being euthanized. So thanks to all of you who give these wonderful canines a home. Thank you guys so much. Do we have any more of our canine visitors that I might have missed? Where?
And wish that they were spread out everywhere. Right now they're only in 6 of the lower 48 states, and it used to be one of the most widely scattered mammals anywhere, and most needed. Now we're down to about 4,000. This year, if everything goes to plan, they will totally annihilate wolves because they have changed. They are delisting the wolf. They're in the process of delisting it now, which means it will no longer be protected. Not only that, but when you delist it, then its environment is not protected either. And these guys have a tough road to hoe here because the cards are really stacked against them right now. Even though.
Oh, you're filming him and I'm in the way. So sorry.
Such a pretty baby. Such a pretty baby. Huh? Such a pretty baby. Yep. You're such a pretty baby. Am I upsetting your world? I'm sorry. Ooh. Yeah, I know.
So they really are on a real.
You know what? I'm going to stick that. Can you like put that somewhere over there?
I grew up in a state that didn't have wolves either, so I had no clue. It wasn't even until I started here that I realized that all states didn't have wolves. I knew nothing about them. And we didn't have them in Ohio, but I didn't even know it. I just figured they're probably out there somewhere. And I had no idea what the animal meant. But having started to research them and learn about them and try to help other people learn about them, I realized how much I don't know. But one thing that I find that is absolutely fascinating is that the wolf has an amazing, intricate social structure, and they understand a family the same as us. They're second to us in recognizing that. They know who their siblings are, they know who their parents are. They care about them, they support them, they bicker. These guys will bicker like crazy sometimes, just like you did with your sister or brother at home. But then 10 minutes later, we're good. Same sort of gig. They recognize a family structure, made them just more dependent on us, a little bit needier, knowing that we would feed them. You don't have to hunt, you don't have to do this, we'll do all that. So we made them dependent on us, which is what really kind of made them tame. The wolf doesn't really care. They're self-sufficient, you know, but what I was going to say is they also don't.
It's a 1,700-pound jaw. Yeah, I know.
Are the breeders.
Oh, cool. That was a good shot right there.
Wolves are not a dictatorship. They are.
He's the little wolf.
The alpha is kind of the leader. Like
Can you do that again?
There's an alpha male and an alpha female. So they're like the parents. They're just kind of the leaders, but everybody's important. Everybody has a role. And even with the breeding, if there is a lot, if food is not in abundance, or if it's a really bad year for rain or a drought, or whatever the issue is, if they don't feel like it's safe, they don't breed. Wolves really quickly, so they will pick that out and they will communicate. They're able to communicate to the others which one we're going after. That's why if you're watching TV and you're watching a documentary and they're hunting and you see them all of a sudden take off after something, You wonder, why don't you grab that one that just ran in front of you? Because that wasn't the one that we decided. These guys are 100 pounds. They're hunting a 1,000-pound animal. If they don't all work together, someone's getting hurt or killed. So they know they got to stick together and go for that one. So they do. They find that sick, that elderly. And in their defense, it also helps. With them being so much smaller, it's a lot easier to catch that one that's sick and old, right? But so there's
Great words that make me
benefit there.
dinner.
But and everybody gets to at least pet a little guy here. Because like I said, they will follow us on the trail, but I want to make sure everybody at least got this, especially kids, that they get to pet. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a lap through this enclosure, because I'd like to show you what a real wolf den looks like, because those of you that live in Florida will never see one. Those of you that live in, oh, I don't know, 44 other states will never see one. But even if you were to be in Yellowstone, you wouldn't even probably know what it is you're looking at. Has anybody ever been there, Yellowstone? All right, that's a great example of the ecosystem and the keystone thing. Reason being is because it is a pretty place, but it wasn't always. It was a pretty place, they took the wolves out. They decided to eliminate them all. They killed all the wolves in Yellowstone. And what that did is it allowed all the grazing animals to overbreed. It's comfortable, it's safe. They no longer have anything to predate on them, so they bred like crazy. Then they ate all the grass, all the bushes, all the trees, all the everything, and it caused mass erosion. So it turned Yellowstone into a vast wasteland. So they went up to way up north, brought down 44 wolves, reintroduced them into Yellowstone. That brought it back. That's a great example. That Yellowstone thing is a great example of what an ecosystem and what a keystone species does. One thing changed it, one thing brought it back.
Who's the one laying down? Come here, girl.
She starts running. Because she's the skinniest.
No, there's another. There's two of them down there. There's three total. Two there and one here.
Grey Cloud, come here, girl. Come here, Grey Cloud. Grey Cloud, come here. Come here, Grey Cloud. Grey Cloud.
That one is so gorgeous. Look at the coloring.
spots, and now it's starting to show up on things that I'll see. You'll see a calendar at Walmart, and you're like, wait a minute, I know this book. And this is a popular spot because actually it could be anywhere. If, like Cynthia always says, as long as you don't look at that magnolia tree back there, it could confuse you. And it could be anywhere. So it is one of their favorite spots because they'll sit there all day trying to get situated. But we're going to hoof our way around up here to the top. This is Gray Cloud. I don't know if you can see her. This is the alpha female of this pack, but who's also very lazy. Oh, there. That's a girl. And if you notice, she'll carry her tail differently. I'm sorry, am I right your way? There are really five. Some of us have dogs that are all chesty if there's action, or another dog, they're like, yeah, let me get out there. And other ones are a little nervous. They get the tail tucked, they're just like, I don't want any trouble, nothing to see here, move on. And it's the same thing with wolves. Some of them are a little more outgoing, some are not. But they all have a tail position. And if you're that omega, your tail is down. If you're the alpha, you're allowed to flag it way high. But a lot of times you'll see one, you'll notice one that just kind of has an arch like that. That's usually an alpha. They're just ready to flash it when they need to, so they leave it halfway hanging. But so there are about 5 different positions. That's one of their forms of communication because you can spot it a mile away on another wolf. Wolves are great communicators, and I wish I had some here. But they do the same as our dogs at home as far as snarling, growling, whimpering, whining. All those things tell us stuff. We learn from our dogs, right? When they start doing it, you go, well, what can I get for you? What do you want? My dog wanders through crying, and I'm the first one looking for cookies. This cookie, that one, no. And I'll keep trying to find something because my dogs, I was an animal trainer for years, yet my dogs have totally trained me to be at their beck and call. And so this is strictly, in my house, is to do as I say, not as I do. And so with these guys, they also do all the same things. They don't have a bark like we're familiar with our dogs, but they do have more of a chuckling. And some of them do that a little more often, but usually you don't hear much in the way of barking at all. But you do hear their most famous howl. Yes, I knew you'd know. Yes, they are howlers, and you know why they howl?
Let everybody know where they're at. Yeah.
They are letting people know they're around. They're either letting others know we're here, back off, or they're letting the rest of their pack know we're here. Come on, and where they're at. That's also because you do not want them to, like wolves do not infringe on each other's territory. That's been one of the great ways to have a non-lethal way of protecting ranches. You just can't get them to use it. They've had a lot of success with broadcasting the sound of recorded wolves howling. That way, the wolves didn't come to the ranch because they figured there was a pack there already, that there was an established pack, so they just didn't come. The problem is you can't get people to use it. Even if you offer, I'll buy it for you, will you use it? No, we're good. And it's hard. It's hard to get people to move on from this is the way we've always done it. This is the way I did it, this is the way my dad did it, this is the way my grandpa did it. So I get that, but it really doesn't help my cause. But so yeah, the howl does a lot of things. They, like I said up there, they howl a lot for grieving. When we lose one here, it just breaks your heart to listen to them howling. And same thing when the baby's born, same thing, whatever. They're very supportive and they howl and they have different howls. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no wonder, look.
had trained animals.
Oh, look. Oh.
Sometimes you might have a quiet door. You never know. This is my handsome Utah coming up in the back. I think he's gorgeous. I expect you all to say so too. He's gorgeous.
She's
gorgeous. So I think he's absolutely amazing. And he's the son of the alpha in here. So yeah, Tahoe's my favorite over there. Puts them in their most vulnerable position, and that is such a sign of trust, especially on a wild animal. When our beagle does it, who's been hanging around the house, that's impressive. But wild animals that can trust you that much, it's more impressive. And that's how he's doing right now. Gray Cloud is doing more communication. This is mine, that's mine. Everything that the dirt lands on is mine. And she has her own little
hunt down humans and kill us and bite us and turn us into werewolves. They're here to thin out the herds of large ungulate species, the large hoofed animals.
Respect.
It can build greater bridges of greater understanding and respect to the natural world and bring greater understanding, which we hope will give birth to conservation. This is one of the few places you'll ever come in with wolves like this. You will not get to see wolves on the level any other facility in America. We have people that visit from all over the world. You will not get to come in with wolves to this extent at any other facility anywhere actually in the world that we're aware of. So we hope that you can appreciate this opportunity today. And it's not that we're teaching people that they're pets.
We can do it best as far as managing. And like I said, I have a hard time because a lot of people trust USDA. That puts them in their most vulnerable position. And that is such a sign of trust, especially on a wild animal. When our beagle does it, who's been hanging around the house, that's impressive. But wild animals that can trust you that much, it's more impressive. And that's how he's doing right now. Gray Cloud is doing more communication. This is mine, that's mine.
This is actually the blood and guts, I believe, of this wolf preserve. How long have you been involved with wolves?
Well, for the greater portion of my life, I had a connection with wolves since I was a young child. But as I grew into young adulthood, I embraced their plight to survive in the wild, most definitely here in the lower 48. And I became impassioned with supporting their existence and their survival in the wild by signing petitions, making donations, and so forth. And that's kind of how it all started, and then it evolved from there.
What was the one thing that did get you involved with wolves? Wolves are just not something that everybody gets involved with.
Well, it's a long story, but you know, humans annihilated wolves out of the lower 48, and in the late 80s, early 90s, the wolves were the only carnivore missing from Yellowstone National Park for over 70 years. And during that time, all kinds of the decline of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem was horrific because the wolf was gone. He is a keystone species. He is the glue that holds ecosystems together. So a movement was started in the late 80s, early 90s to bring the wolf back to Yellowstone and restore it. And as you can probably imagine, that movement by defenders of wildlife, the National Wildlife Federation, and private individuals to bring the wolf back, it met up with horrific opposition from powerful entities that did not want to see the wolf come back. And so the two sides became so heated that they finally organized negotiations in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And up until that point in time, I had been supporting the wolf at a distance, but I was so impassioned by that movement to bring this keystone species back, and he was the only carnivore missing from the park. And so I said, I'm going out there to that negotiation area in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So I flew out there and I attended that event, and it changed my life. It was there at that event that I touched my first wolf. Someone had brought a wolf ambassador up into that pavilion that day to be a living presence for that cause, and I was stunned. I had seen wolves at zoos and at a distance at other places, but I had never touched a wolf and had a personal encounter with one. And I knelt down beside that wolf ambassador and reached out and touched him, and I saw the amazing energy of this
this very amazing keystone species, and it was actually a spiritual experience for me, and it certainly caused me to become more impassioned for their survival. And this is what led to Wayne and I moving mountains and going to great lengths to empower our visitors here at Seacrest to be able to go in with the wolves and see them. You will not get to do this anyplace else. And we do this because not that we're teaching people that they're pets. They are wild animals to be respected for who they are, but we believe that when humans can learn about them up close and personal, that it will touch a place in their heart that cannot be touched otherwise through a fence, a glass window, or from a viewing platform like you see them at other educational facilities, but to actually experience them up close and personal, that it will touch a place in the human heart that could not be touched otherwise. And we pray that it will give birth to great desires for conservation and preserving this wild species for future generations of Americans.
Where did you get your first wolf at?
In 1999, Wayne and I were contacted by a zoo asking, they knew about our connection with the wolves, and they asked, our supporting them at a distance, and they asked if we could help out with a really sad case. This individual had this beautiful 8-year-old gray wolf, captive wolf, up north, and she had had him since he was a pup, and she had had him in very inhumane conditions in a tiny cage so that when he stood up, his back touched the top of the cage. The cage was not much bigger than his own body, and he was in his own urine and his own feces, and he had been contained like that very inhumanely for many years. She didn't want him anymore. She didn't want to be bothered with him, and she was looking to dump him off on this zoo. The zoo could not take him, and their hearts were very moved at the condition of this wolf. And so they called Wayne and I, and we stepped up to the plate. And initially, we were just going to help out with a few sad cases, and it was a very quiet conservation effort. Initially, we never dreamt that Seacrest would grow into the amazing work that it has today, but that's how it all started.
The last time I was here, we had what, 5 pups, maybe 5 pups. And where are they now?
Well, Seacrest has been able to establish one of the most credible breeding programs for pure wolves in the lower 48. Now, let me make this clear. If you're going to be breeding a wild species to live its life out behind a fence, you better have a good reason to do so. And we feel that we do, and that's for educational purposes. If you know anything about teaching, you cannot teach adequately and effectively without a proper teaching tool. And I was in the show dog world for many years, and I learned a lot about genetics and breeding, and that has carried over into our breeding program here. We only breed by request from the top wildlife educational facilities around the country. Very few facilities get our wolf pups. We're very careful where they go. They must have humane habitats, large humane habitats, and they must be an educational facility.
So do you give them to these people?
No. These other facilities make donations into Seacrest.
Okay.
We are a fully fledged nonprofit,
right.
And we do not get major grants from major entities. We raise our money through our tour fees and through donations and sponsorship of our wolves. But the donations that these other facilities make into the Wolf Preserve for these pups helps support our work.
How many wolves do you have now here on the property?
We have 39 pure wolves here.
39?
Yes, and when individuals come, they get to meet gray wolves, Arctic wolves, and British Columbian wolves. So
That's just fantastic. I know in Alabama we're having a problem with the Alabama Wildlife Commission because they're wanting to euthanize all the coyotes, the bats and raccoons and the fox, and there's 6 different species, and we're fighting that as hard as we can because something that you said that really touched my heart about education. How do people learn about our world, and our world is 90% wildlife really, without hands-on education?
And what you do here, you not only have wolves here, correct?
That's correct. We do have a small animal adventure because we're trying to teach people to look at the whole picture. And every wild species has an important role to play for planet Earth. Every wild species is here for a specific reason. And wolves, for instance, are not here to chase down humans and bite them and turn them into werewolves. Wolves are here to thin out the herds of large herbivore species to prevent massive grazing on the planet. Raccoons, foxes, all of these wild species have an important job to do. Unfortunately, many times they get in the way of humans, and two, they become overpopulated because the ecosystems in which we live are so out of balance. For instance, wolves used to keep the coyotes thinned out, but humans killed all the wolves, so there are no wolves to thin out the coyotes now, so the coyotes are overpopulated. And when overpopulation becomes present, then the prey base for that species becomes depleted, and they are forced to turn to alternative food sources such as people's pets and you know, cats and dogs, and predating on things like that. And it's very, very sad. All of these things are evidence of huge imbalances in the ecosystems in which we live. And we humans are to blame for that. So we must implement science, and we must include conservation by scientific data, predator-prey ratio, and all of that. And we humans must work harder to see that these wild species are you know, find homes, and we preserve wildlands so that they can retain their habitats and their prey bases. And we must work hard to see that this happens. But I do know that there are huge imbalances out there, and problems erupt from these imbalances.
What are some of the things we need to do now? I subscribe to all the wolf foundations and trying to save the wolves, and there's no good news coming out of these.
No.
Even the wolves that they put in Yellowstone are being coaxed out and they're being killed. So what can we do as a population to try to save these wolves?
We live in a democracy, and you're absolutely right. Wolves have been delisted, meaning that they have lost all their federal umbrella of protection. It started on the federal level when the Congress delisted the wolf over a year ago. They removed it out from under the federal protection of the Endangered Species Act, and once it started on the federal level, it sifted down to the states. There's only a few states where wolves are allowed to live. In the Northeast, it's Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and in the Northwest, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. So when wolves were delisted on the federal level, then it sifted down to the state level. And the governor of Montana, there's only 650 wolves left there, and he issued over 6,000 hunting licenses to annihilate the rest of the wolves that are there. And it's very, very sad what is going on. And what we need to remember, we Americans, are that we live in a democracy. And this is why education is so important, because someone once said, we will conserve only what we love. We love only what we understand, and we understand only what we are taught. Education is so important. We must learn that wolves and all of these wild species are part of America's heritage, as are our beautiful wild lands. And we must preserve these things for future generations of Americans. And what the American population can do is, first of all, educate themselves. Come to Seacrest or some other type of facility, learn all that you can. And then there are numerous petitions that you can sign for your voice to be heard. You can email your congressman. You can email the president. You can email the head of the Department of the Interior and the Bureau of Land Management, and you can say, stop destroying America's wild heritage. We, the American people, do not want these things destroyed and violated, and we do not want these things to disappear and no longer be here for future generations of Americans. So it's letting our voice be heard through the avenue, through the mediums of communication, through social networking and this type of thing, and signing the petitions, letting your voice be heard.
Well, I want to thank you very much, ma'am. This has been one fantastic day. It's always a great day when I come here to Seacrest. But the education, the things that I've learned today and the people that I've met, there's nothing better than animal-loving people in this world. There really isn't. And God bless you and God bless Wayne. And keep up the good work. And we'll join you any way we can in fighting the good fight. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. This is a collective effort of many people working together to make a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
You don't really know what you're going to be? What are you dressed up as now?
Nothing. A wolf.
Nothing. Everybody's something.
Oh, he started off as a black spy, I think.
A black spy?
Yeah, but I just quit that job.
You quit? I don't blame you. Being a black spy is just not good. Okay. Go enjoy yourself. Have fun.
So you got lost.
Now you see, his parents told him not to go out alone, that he must have somebody with him. Now to show us, he looked at himself and said, hey, I'm the Showa-Noa. I have my bow, and I have my knife, and I know how to use it. So I am going out in the woods.
We're going to start at 8 o'clock, but right now, you know what? We want to invite you to speak to
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Beautiful. Today, I hope that you have all learned something about the wolves, and perhaps the Seacrest wolf is so in your heart. But at any rate, we hope you leave this weekend not only having fun, celebrating this holiday, Halloween, but thinking about the wolves and how we can help save them and make a difference in helping keep the wild alive. So right now, I'm going to ask 4 of our friends. I think I have 2 friends right here. 2 friends, and I need 2 more friends. Who can help? Would you come right here? All right. So come stand right here by me. Wow, look at these girls. Come right over here, sweetie. I love that tall. That's great. Awesome. You're going to check this out right here. We got some real wildlife guys right here. This is pretty awesome. You know what, guys? Isn't the HOWL-O-WEEN one of the most beautiful sounds of nature that you've ever heard? And you know what? It's so sad that humans have taken this sound and used it for something scary. We're not going to do that tonight. You know what we're going to do tonight? I know it's Halloween, but with this howl, you know what it's going to be? Let's let this howl be a howl of celebration. And let's celebrate the natural world and all of the beautiful things that are in the natural world, all the beautiful animals and all the natural entities that compose the natural world. And while we're doing this howl, we hope we can wake the Seacrest wolves up. Actually, they're already awake because they're a very, very nocturnal species. They've already been howling over there. I don't know if you heard them or not. But while we do this howl, when I count to 3, we're going to howl really loud. And we're going to celebrate the natural world. And while we're howling, I want to challenge everyone to be thinking about ways that we can help keep the wild alive. Do you know that we can all do something? If it's hanging out a bird feeder, helping a turtle across the road, or just educating ourselves so that we can learn more and be more knowledgeable about saving what's left of the natural world. So be thinking about ways that you can make a difference in helping keep the wild alive while on this Halloween event we can celebrate the wolves in the natural world. All right, guys, now what we're going to do, we're going to show them how to howl. When I count to 3, we're going to throw our heads back and we're going to point our noses up toward the sky and we're going to howl just like a wolf. Okay, guys? I bet we got some really good howlers here. And you guys are going to all join in, right, with us? All right, guys, let's do it. When I count to 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, what we're going to do is we're opening our red light and are going to come around and pass candy out to everybody. And if you would like to get your picture taken with this beautiful couple, I'm going to all right, guys, if you'd like to have your picture taken, everybody, don't worry. You're going to come around and give everyone some candy. Everybody gets some candy. And by the way, let's get our What Power helpers here on hand, guys. Thank you guys for the What
Awesome, thank you. Open apart a little bit so I can get the fire.
Sideways to get the light.
Yeah, she wants vertical picture.
Got it. You guys, did you get a vertical?
Got everything. Got it.
You got a vertical?
Got a vertical.
You guys
got it.
This beautiful couple.
Got it.
Got the vertical.
Got the vertical.
Selected by your hazmat score. I have one of the highest hazmat scores, but I came in open mechanic, so I didn't get a very good job.
That the state said that they had to euthanize me because I can't be released. Now that's crazy. What's the matter with those fools? Do they really think that we're not important? I mean, that hurts my feelings, you know? So what are you gonna do about it? You know, us animals are dependent on you to help save us. Really? Who came up with that? Who actually decides who lives, who dies here in Alabama? That's crazy. We all need it. What? Who ever heard of such a ludicrous idea? Don't you know that God put us all here on the planet to coexist? And you as a human being have no right to say that just because there are baby raccoons or possums, which by the way just happen to be the only marsupial here in the United States, that these animals don't deserve a chance to live because they have a history of carrying rabies. Well, you know, humans carry rabies too, so maybe we should start euthanizing them. But to make my point, if animal lovers and rehabilitators, they just don't go out into nature and just grab animals and bring them in and take care of them and release them back again. No, their job usually is to take care of animals that have been injured by humans. Now you remember, humans, they don't interact with nature. That's not a natural occurrence. You know, when an animal gets hit by a car and the mom gets killed and the babies are left out there on their own, that isn't nature. That's man interceding and killing the mother. Now, if that car hadn't have been there, or the man hadn't have been there, those babies would have still had a mom. Same thing with getting shot. People just use birds and animals just for target practice, and that's not fair. And it's up to the Fish and Wildlife Commission, DNR, to take care of us. So when somebody comes up and takes the time and finds our babies and things, it's not the state's business. They need to leave the rehabilitators alone and let them get them babies back to the wilderness. That's just the way God intended, and that's the way it should be. So come on, guys, smarten up. What? I want to live. Please, please. Pretty bird. Humans, you know, you can't trust them. They're not all bad. They're not all bad. I don't know what to tell you. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I agree with that. We have a purpose. We all have a purpose.